So today we are going to be talking about the Tecno Pova 2. I've had this phone for a while now, but I haven't had the opportunity to share my thoughts on this phone. It has a massive 7000 mAh battery, which is one of the major highlights of this phone. It also has the MediaTek Helio G85, which is quite decent, all for a starting price of around 87 to 95,000 depending on the variants you have. Well, we are going to go over all the features in this video, so stay tuned. So let's start by talking about the battery on the Tecno Pova 2. Yeah, a massive 7000 mAh battery, but how does it perform? Well, battery life here is superb. If you're someone that loves battery on a phone, then I highly suggest you get this phone, because you're going to easily get 2 days of battery life. As someone who is a heavy user, I've tried my best to kill this battery within a day, but I haven't succeeded. For casual users, I see you getting up to 3 days of battery life, which is absolutely insane. And one thing I need to talk about is the fact that Tecno added an 18-watt fast charger inside the box of the Pova 2, which I feel is small. At least a 25-watt fast charger would have been better. Charging this phone from 0 to 100 takes about 3 hours, which is actually slow in every sense. At least a 25-watt fast charger will have been better. So I tried charging this phone with another battery, but I still get the same speed, which means it only supports the native 18-watt fast charger that comes inside the box. The display here is big at 6.9 inches and it's not suitable for one-hand usage. My palms are fairly big, but I still need 2 hands to reach the top of the screen. For those who love playing games on their phones, then it's going to be enjoyable because of the extra screen real estate. The bezel and chin are decent. Overall, we have a screen to body ratio of 82%. The display is IPS LCD with a resolution of 1080p. Blacks appear well as expected with an IPS LCD display. Under direct sunlight, you have to set the display to auto brightness for you to be able to see it clearly. It is responsive and it also has a touch sampling rate of 180 Hz. The refresh rate here is the standard 60 Hz, but I wish it was up to 90 Hz. We have a punch hole camera cutout that is noticeable, but it doesn't distract while watching content or playing game. Display is okay, but I wish we had a high refresh rate on here because it would have made using the display better and enjoyable. The phone is made of a glossy plastic material that showcases fingerprint stains. There is a TPU case in the box for protection against the stains. The color with me here is called Dazzle Black and it has grown on me. It shines depending on how the light hits it. There is a quad camera setup at the back, but we are going to talk about it in a bit. Up front, we have glass, but I don't know the protection Tecno is using on the display. You need to be careful with the display. It might break if it touches the ground. We have a front hole camera at the front, and I'll share images from the camera in a bit. The phone has a USB Type-C port for charging and a headphone port at the bottom. The speaker is seated at the top, and that is one of the biggest flaws of the Pova 2. A downfiring speaker would have surely been better on this phone. The fingerprint sensor is by the left side, just below the volume rockers. It is very fast and responsive, and I had no issues using it. The phone uses dual SIM card and it also supports an SD card. It is a heavy phone, which is obvious because of the 7000 mAh battery. Design here is regular with what we have seen with most of the 2021 devices. We have the MediaTek Helio G85 powering this phone. It is a 12nm processor that is optimized for gaming. The device delivers as expected for a phone within this price range. Apps open quite fast and multitasking is also decent. The variant I have with me here has 6GB RAM and 128GB of storage, but there is a cheaper variant out there with 4GB RAM and 64GB of storage. Performance will surely be better on the variant with 6GB RAM. You should have that at the back of your mind. Software wise, we have Android 11 on Tecno's HiWare 7, which is actually the same with most of the other Tecno phones that I have reviewed earlier this year. It comes with some apps that can be removed. I've used the phone for a while and there are no intrusive apps like we have on other Tecno phones. The software is smooth to some extent, but the newer version of the HiOS that we have on the Camon 18 Premier is much better. Finally, let's talk about the cameras before we round up the video. We have a main 48MP camera and an array of 2MP cameras that I feel are not necessary on the phone. Up front, we have an 8MP selfie camera, and here are videos and pictures from the camera. Let me know what you think about the pictures in the comment section below. This is a video